I can't get it all back. It's blown out.
That'll do as an intro. Hello there, ladies and folk, and welcome to another episode of the Zcast. HJK is oozing out all over the place. I'm not quite sure how to take that, really.
I planned ahead and put myself in a 3-sided container. I ooze
This is
nowhere.
what you will.
Oh God, no!
I ooze nowhere.
After all the hardware and software and technical problems I've been having, this is the last thing I need.
Quick, HJK, make static.
Oh fucking hell, no. Don't you dare, you son of a bitch. It's like the last 3 or 4 days have been complete torture in terms of trying to get stuff to work. Fuck
It's the
off.
Skype noise where it sounds like you disconnect.
Oh, God. Actually, that's the one thing that hasn't fucked up more than it usually does is my internet connection. It's actually been reasonably secure. It's been amazing. It's like been really, really slow, but it's not stopped.
It's always slow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's a problem with Rebel's computer. It makes everything HJK say in third person.
Ever since HTK
HJK
discovered
doesn't know
that.
what we're talking about.
So, week 9.
What? Oh.
Week
HTK doesn't know what we're
nine.
talking about.
I actually
Week
got it
freaking
down.
9. How does this happen? How do I lose? How does every match that I care about not go the way I want it to, and yet I still win the betting by like twice everything you guys do? How does that work?
Luck.
I
And then
guess.
bad luck.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least the betting went my way, and it's gone greatly to secure the fact that I'll never have to worry about Nicolas Cage in a Princess Leia outfit. But
Oh, I think you will have to worry about that at some point.
nonsense. I
One
just
week.
got
It's
6,000
1 week.
credits, yo.
Credits? God.
Whatever, Zinni.
What kind of space bucks are you talking about? Yeah, week 9 was a thing.
Best 9. Week 9 was a crazy week. It really was.
Yeah.
It was a horrible week for my team.
It was a horrible week for East Kai.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Every
Everyone
single
was.
East Kai team lost.
Kind of brought you guys back down to earth.
Not really.
Crackles knuckles.
How does
Now we're even with.
you beat the Ginyu Force? Beat you? Why?
Mhm.
I never thought I'd be saying this, but why?
They were sick and
Because
tired of
we-
their oppressive tyrant ruler.
I
They've had enough.
I mean, and honestly, we got to give credit where credit is due. The Ginyu Force were pretty damn good.
They were good. Here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to consider about that, though. Right? You look at the improvements that have actually been made to in terms of Team Cold. We have star player Frieza. Wasn't in.
Mm-hmm.
We had King Cold, who is incredibly impressive, and again did pretty well overall. And Mecha Frieza, who's always quite dangerous, doing really, really well actually, mostly with melee, funnily
Yeah,
enough, which
that
is
was
kind of
weird.
strange. But yeah, I mean, he still did phenomenally well. Then you have Metacooler, who's been kind of he's sort of someone we leave until the very end and sort of hope he does enough and just hope he doesn't have to come out and do much. You know,
Right.
what you really want is to give him, you know, someone who's got a bar or two of health left and he's got full bar of health, and then you just sort of let him go with it, and he will hopefully pull out a win for you. Problem is, you also have Cooler in the team, who is a pile of steaming shit at the minute. Quite a long shot from the player that basically single-handedly destroyed the androids with Super 17 in them. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's
Glory
wrong with
days.
Cooler at the minute.
Glory days.
Yeah,
Glory days.
those days, those were good days. But yeah, Cooler's
Still downhill from there, isn't it?
it has been pretty much actually. You know, we lost the superb coach.
Yeah, you
but-
did.
Yeah.
And you got you.
Yeah, they lost the superb coach and got you.
Yeah.
And then you stepped down too. It's crazy.
Interesting. I wonder who was the coach before the league even started.
Nothing, and it was the superb one.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't entirely, for me anyway. It wasn't entirely unexpected given the players we had out. It does show though that the Ginyu Force are definitely improving, because just King Cold and Mecha Frieza right now, how they're performing, despite Cooler and Metacooler being terrible, could quite easily have taken the Ginyu Force from week 1 apart with their pinky fingers. You know?
Yeah.
So it does show that Ginyu Force has
Captain
improved really
Ginyu.
well. Yeah, no,
He's
absolutely.
doing leagues better than he used to.
No, indeed. And Jace is now performing just terrifyingly well.
Hmm
I will be back in uno secundo, so don't miss me. You know.
We won't, don't worry.
Wow, that wasn't what you
You knew what was coming, though.
We will not miss you even a little bit.
No.
It's fine.
Alright, so next match was the Androids against the Saiyans. To carry on the trend of East Kai losing, Saiyans won somehow.
Yeah, that was again crazy. They destroyed 17. How does that work?
You outspam 17. Pretty much how it goes.
apparently.
Yeah.
You do garlic cannon, garlic cannon, garlic cannon.
Yeah,
That was
pretty
crazy.
much. That was awesome, is what it was. But no, it's interesting. I think the androids are probably keeping Cell out of their lineup just so that they can have Cell up against the Valkyries. And you know, comparatively to where they were, you know, even if they lost that and the Valkyries had won their match, they were in a secure position still in second.
Right.
So it wasn't or still tied for second, and given how far back the Rugrats are, second and third position really don't matter. So, you know, their only risk by not winning that match was that Cold pulled ahead, which obviously didn't become a problem. But obviously if they had, you know, if they did not have Cell for the next match, then, you know, could have been a bit of an issue for them, especially given the fact, you know, of where they are right now. Their coming lineup is actually pretty fucking terrifying. I mean, they've got Boo the week after, Super Saiyans week 12, and then they've got the Rugrats, who they could really do with beating. But then after that, in week 14, they've got the Margins. So, you know, they've got all of those teams which, you know, are definitely not guaranteed wins. I mean, they've probably got one of the toughest ends to the season right now. As well as, you know, two really key division matches, you know, in the next sort of 6 weeks or so. So I don't know. I think it was a reasonable gamble, and certainly in this week, it definitely paid off for them to actually keep Cell out and take that loss on the chin.
Yeah, because it did. I mean, the standings didn't change at all.
No.
Everyone lost.
Everyone in East Kai is still in exactly the same position they were before.
Mm-hmm.
Next match.
But next match.
Androids. You did that one, didn't you?
We just
Yes.
did that one, HJK.
Gohans at Super Saiyans.
Yeah, I think the Gohans won that one, right?
I don't think.
No, Super Saiyans won. It was a
That was a
darn good
piss
match,
take.
though.
Yeah, it was.
No, the game was not what I said.
It's good to know that, you know, let's face it, Team Gohan, he kind of put it back for the Gohans and made them think they were going to win before we just showed them that, you know, the superior race. But it was Team Gohan who made them think it. Good job, Team Gohan. At least you're doing well in your sub-division team.
You know, HJK, people call me arrogant, and then you look at HJK and it's like, wow, this is amazing. But no, it
Fun
was...
in South Kai, Team Gohan, below Super Saiyans.
I still think that was a fantastic match.
That was
It was
a
a really
fantastic
good
game.
match,
Yeah. It was two
It
like
was the
two of the top teams.
It was
yeah.
6-2 teams going at it. It went down to the wire. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was.
And I just love the whole Goten, help me beat your brother. Dad, help me beat me.
That was quite funny.
That was
I was
good,
hoping it would well, you know, in the cutscene when they do the Father Son Kamehameha, I was hoping he would just do it and then he'd look around and like, Dad, why are you? I'm here.
I don't understand.
But now we are joint top
You
with
are
gold.
indeed. Yeah.
The whole league. High five, Rebels.
No, it's getting interesting. I mean, you've got, you know, Super Saiyans and Cold both at 7 and 2, and then Blades and Gohans at 6 and 3. You know, sort of bringing up the second
Which kind
place.
of
So.
fits with the whole league division thing dynamic.
No, absolutely,
Because
yeah.
East Kai's kind of second only to North Kai, I would say.
Yeah.
In the historical thing, it has been second to East North Kai, and it just goes from North Kai, East Kai, West Kai, South Kai. So it kind of fits. I quite like it.
Yeah.
It's nice being at the top, though, isn't it?
It is nice being
Nice
the top. It gives you a very nice view over the slaves. Yeah, I agree.
Over the plebs, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. What was that, pleb? I can't hear you.
Yeah, pleb. You know, like gladiators, but the ones who couldn't afford armor. Speaking of which, the next match is that DB Warriors.
What happened? What happened to the Dragon Ball Warriors? They are doing phenomenal.
They saw the Earth Defenders and thought, "Ooh, it's a tasty meal."
Yeah, apparently. It was crazy. I mean, honestly, and it was another one of those things where Earth Defenders did really well, just not quite as good as their opponents.
Yeah.
My team consistently, and if you look at our forum, for the past several weeks, it's been like, look, we don't know what to change. Everyone's performing well. I mean, we're just getting beat, so we don't know what to do. We even put Tien. We even put Tien into Krillin's role because Krillin was rotated out, and he did fairly well in it. Chaozu did well. Yamcha did well. Goku. Everyone did well. It's just the Dragon Ball Warriors. Good on them. They were great.
I'd be so annoyed with Yamcha if I were you. Not because he doesn't do well, but because he doesn't do what he's meant to, despite doing well.
I know. I don't know how to. It's one of those things. It's like
When
you want to change something, but you're not even sure what to change because you can't really just sit there and point out what he's screwing up.
When the Sudoken went for, I don't know who it was, but he went for someone. He was like, "Yeah, ultimately we got him," and then he just goes, "Come here, man."
Yeah, that was brilliant. I love that.
No.
Oh, for God's sake, not again. It was brilliant.
Oh, you're like comedic relief, aren't you?
He is, really, isn't he? Yeah.
I hate you all.
Oh,
Next
poor
match. Actually, I did want to make one point. I might make that later. No, I'll make it now. South Kai, apart from Gohan's, they're all tied at 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, they are.
That is going to be insane. What happens if they all tied at 4 and 5? Do they, as Derp and Dragon Ball Warriors? Let's just say whoever's third and fourth, if it's at the playoffs.
Here's what they would do. They would do the same way we did the music battles. Each team would play each other until a team beats both.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, you would have, let's say,
a three-way
team A,
playoffs.
B, and C. A would fight B, A would fight C. If A beat both of them, they move on. If they didn't, then B would fight C, B would fight A. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we would keep doing it until one has beaten both consistently.
3 hours later.
Yeah.
Listen, can we just flip a fucking coin?
Okay, next match, Rugrats at Muscle.
And Muscle finally got a win under their belts for
Yeah, they did.
a
It was a
while.
tough fight, too.
Yeah, it
Especially
was.
now, it's getting to the point where it's like every time GT Goku comes out, you're like, dude, I don't care if he's got 1 ounce of health and the whole team's left. I'm not calling this.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I just feel so sorry for the Rugrats. Like, they're working so hard, and yet they're crippled by this fucking inconsistency of these players.
And they've
It's
got some
terrible.
amazing builds, like especially
Yeah,
GT
they have.
Goku. His melee towards the end of his life, he did it this week too. It's just devastating.
Yeah, no, they're brutal. And then you see, you had the return of, stuff like Goten doing really, really well, and Trunks even performing well. But the problem for them is Cell Jr. right at the beginning was just abysmal. He didn't do anything,
Yep.
and that little lead that Muscle managed to get, then the tag out was everything. That was the match basically.
And on the reverse side, poor Team Muscle. What are they going to do with Garlic Jr.? He is just consistently doing nothing.
Change in AI.
Yeah, I don't know. It's another one of those. Like, I mean, I'm not in their forums every day trying to see their brain process, but they have got to be staring at Garlic Jr. just going, dude, come on.
Yeah, no, I think it's a case with a lot of the players that you just go, okay, you are rubbish. Let's just basically go through each of the weeks and go, okay, let's try this AI. Right, next week that didn't work. Okay, next week let's try this one. Right, next week let's try this one, and just get a thing that says, okay, this did well. Let's give this one another go. It's a case of there's just going to be a massive trial and error towards the end of the season, but they can't afford that right now. I mean, at the minute, if you look at the rankings right now, you're looking at a South Kai currently consisting of Muscle, Margins, Rugrats, and Earth Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is insane. 2 North Kai teams are currently in the running for dropping straight into South Kai. Currently, none of South Kai are going to be staying there. That is
Yeah,
insane.
True. That's true. And so, I mean, when we called it at the beginning of the season, we thought maybe the Gohans
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
make it out of there.
Yeah. Not all of them.
And
Not
the
all
worst
of them.
part is, it looks like some teams may be falling all the way from north to south, and at least one team might be going all the way from south to north.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
True.
Man, this is a crazy season. I honestly have to say, this has been the most up and down season we've had yet.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's,
In the rankings, yeah.
Yeah, it's, man, I'm loving it, even if my team is in last place. Like, I will say this, what I love most about this league, my team's in last place, and it sucks. I ain't gonna deny that. But, even though my team's in last place, it's so worth it just to see how different this league has evolved from last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. I'll wait until after we get through the matches.
Okay. Next
Okay.
match.
Margin at Namek. Margin won this one.
Really?
did.
Ah.
Yes, they did.
Still tied for the bottom of North Kai.
I know.
It's like
Poor guys.
neither Muscle nor the Margins can get a break from the other team. It's hilarious.
We're still going to get. Oh no.
Oh, for
What?
God's sake!
Yeah. Do they actually play each other at any point? They must.
They
yeah,
have
they
to.
do.
Yeah, they haven't
Week
played
12.
each other
Yeah.
yet. Week 12. So really, 3 weeks from now. Oh my
That'll
gosh!
be-
Let's hope they're still.
Yeah, no, I
That'd be
really hope they're still tied for that one. That will be hilarious.
It'd be like Dragon Ball Warriors versus Derp last season, but with two North Kai teams. Oh dear. Who did Margin rotate out for this one? I forget.
Dodoria. Yeah, Dodoria. They rotated out
Wow.
Dodoria. They rotated out Deborah.
Deborah.
Oh, okay. I think they did fairly
Which
well.
is amazing, given they didn't have their best player.
Final explosion. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
I love Margin Vegeta. He's probably my only favourite Super Saiyan out of my team, apart from Team Gohan.
What? What about Goku?
That's a good point, actually. Here's the third one.
Yeah.
He's the only consistent Goku. Actually, no, mine's
Consistent
the only inconsistent Goku.
No,
Yeah.
I
wouldn't say he's
early
exactly
Goku
consistent.
Is also a bit inconsistent.
Okay, maybe mine's just the worst one then. Not
Yeah,
inconsistent,
I'll agree with
just the
that.
worst.
Yours is just the worst of the inconsistents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, next match: Boo at Blades.
Fucking Kid Boo at Blades, you mean?
I know that was
That was
insane.
amazing. Love Kid Boo. And
It's
the hilarious thing is like the Boos are what 5 and 4 right now. That's brilliant. It's like one player's kind of holding the team sort of together, but not really. It's like, yeah, good luck with that, Boos.
Yeah, I know that I've had some calls to nerf. Of course, you always get calls to nerf things, but
Of
it's like, they're 5 and 4. But you can't say that's not a balanced team.
No, absolutely. Like they rotate out Kid Boo at some point. Well, okay, then what do they do?
Yeah.
Then how close is it really going to be? But I kind of feel sorry for Muscle next week. If the Boos decide to keep Kid Boo in for the division match, I mean, Muscle could be looking at going way, way behind.
That's a good point. Yeah. Who are Margin playing next?
Ginyu, yeah. So depending on what kind of a team the Margins put out, this could really be the week they push forward. But then again, it could still be it could be that both Muscle and the Margins go to 3 and 7, just because of
As long as they're tied for week 12, I don't mind. So I want that battle.
Yeah, no, I want that to be a thing, definitely.
Okay. Next match: Valkyries at Derp.
Derp kicked their asses.
Man, it was brutal.
Yeah.
It was, and again, another team, Derp. The two weakest teams in this league, Dragon Ball Warriors and Derp, are consistently winning and consistently beating teams that none of us thought they would.
I don't know, both HK
Well-
and I thought Derp were going to win.
Okay, people who mattered didn't think.
Wow.
No, wait. So people who mattered thought that the Valkyries would... No, I'm still saying only HK and I thought Derp were going to win. I don't understand where you're coming from here.
Only people that mattered thought Derp was going to win.
Yeah.
Still, and that's what I was saying before. I am actually so ecstatic, so happy to see these teams doing well.
Except they're beating your favourite teams.
Not happy about that. Not happy about that. But at least
There's always
as
a
far
catch.
as the league goes, I'm really, as a coach, sucks.
Yeah.
As a commissioner, love it.
One day Earth Defenders will be there. Don't worry.
Yeah, they'll be coming
I'll
up
be one
from
of those
South
teams.
Kai. You know, they'll be 0-10, and suddenly they'll get those 5 wins they really need.
Everything. In season
I'm sorry,
8,
I couldn't resist.
And that's all the matches for week 9.
Good lord, that was
Yeah.
quick.
All the matches are complete.
Yay! Yeah, well, of course
Yay.
they are. We just played them. God, HK, useless.
Wow. What?
So here's my question for you guys:
Mhm.
How much of the obviously there have been some really huge shifts in power to the league this season. How much of this do you think is attributed to the 7-point builds, as opposed to because you know instead of it being people learning their teams and working with their teams, which we're all sure is a part of it, how much of it percentage-wise would you say is because of those 2 extra points?
Rebel, do you want to?
I don't know. I'd say 30-70. I think the 70% is. Okay, I think there's 2 aspects to the 70%. 30% is the 7-point builds, because it adds so much more variety, and you know the kind of combinations you can do are vastly increased. I think I personally would still have expected this to be the, like, in terms of if you look at this and then took away the 7-point builds back to 5 points, I would still expect this to be a thing, for the simple reason that the teams that are losing for very specific reasons. So teams like, and I've said this before and I will continue to say it, teams like Muscle and the Margins are getting beaten by teams like Derp and by trying to pull something out of my arse here.
Super Saiyans.
No,
No.
Super Saiyans aren't a team. Being beaten. Yeah, let's just say being beaten by Derp, right?
Right.
Because Derp is learning how to get the most out of their players, whereas the Muscle and the Margins, to me at any rate, seem to be in a mentality whereby they're saying, well, this worked in the past, so why the hell can't it work in the future? You know? And Derp's actually looking at it and going, okay, here are our players, here's what we've got, here's what we can work with, what can we improve on, what can we change? They're coming into it with the kind of mentality whereby they're saying, alright, they're basically starting with a fresh slate, and you know, throwing ideas onto the table and being able to, and having that kind of the requirement to be creative. Whereas Muscle and the Margins are looking at a situation where, okay, they've already had success, and the temptation to stay with what's been successful is obviously massive. But because these other teams are countering stuff, you know, they're maybe getting ideas that just plain work better. It's a massive advantage. So I think that would have happened regardless of whether or not we had 7-point builds.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more the case with the 7-point builds that it kind of I don't know, enlarges that kind of gap, because when you've got the 7-point builds, what you're doing with the 7-point builds for the teams that have already kind of got their builds and got the general theme of their builds set up is they're saying, okay, well, let's just build on that. Let's add, you know, this Patara and this Patara, or this 2-point Patara, and saying, okay, this was our 5-point build. We've now added this to make it overall more effective. And there's no saying, okay, we've got 7-point builds, now let's change it up. It's sort of sticking with the same formula, just adding on to it. Whereas the other teams, you know, Derp, Gohans, Namek, Dragon Ball Warriors, Blades, Ginyu, even to an extent teams like the Super Saiyans and Cold. I know Cold has been looking at things and going, okay, well, let's do this. Let's change this around a bit and see how this works. And it's a case of not sticking with stuff that's worked before, which is then quite easily countered.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I would say it's more 60-40. Mainly because, I mean, you do have to take into account what would happen if it was just 5 points still.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say because there's 7 points, more of the performance is down to the Pataras than with 5 points. And I've always been of the opinion that evil characters are actually inbuilt stronger. Than
Yeah.
So,
You're just doing that to boost your own reputation. God.
Well, let's be honest. I don't need it to be boosted anymore.
Oh.
Oh.
For those of you who are not members of the staff, HDK and I had a discussion. I wasn't really. It was about. I think it was about.
Discussion?
It was
Dude,
about
lines were drawn, weapons were thrown,
and the hilarious thing was, I didn't give a shit. I just wanted an argument. I was saying to HDK while we were discussing it, dude, I'm really not interested, but I'm really enjoying this argument. Can we carry on?
I don't give two flying flips about it, but I'm still gonna tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm not necessarily convinced you are wrong, but I'm still going to argue the point because I'm enjoying this.
But
But
just the epitome of a devil's advocate.
hello.
To be honest.
I'm the devil advocating for himself.
Right. Makes sense. But yeah, I would say they'll be more likely to be in the same entrenched positions if it was still 5 points. So I do think the majority of it is down to new builds, new experimentation. That's the 60% part.
Mhm.
But I would say it's 40%. It's more significant that there's 7-point builds than Rebel might think. I would say.
I'm not inclined to disagree. I just like 30-70. I like the number
Wow.
combination. I'm sorry.
I think that's an educated
I would
statement.
actually go with Rebel as much as it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's 70-30 because while the 7-point builds do open up a lot of potential for new combos, what you see mostly through the builds is 2 points using to enhance current builds and to complement current builds instead of completely new build types. What I was expecting to see when I opened up the 7-point build customization was entirely new builds. Characters run completely differently. And you do see that. But more likely, often what you see is the same 5 points you would have, plus 2 more that complement something. Maybe an extra serious, maybe an extra fighting spirit, maybe a savior where there wasn't before, maybe a combo master. And so while I think that these do affect it, which is why the 30%, you're not seeing these drastic changes accounting for drastic changes in the overall league. So I think it is much more teammates or coaches and their staff learning how to squeeze every ounce of their characters.
Yeah. And I think you're seeing a lot
look
of
at this.
kataras being used that you
Hercule-
wouldn't be used before. So you're
Perfect
using stuff
example.
like Master Strike and that. Yeah.
Right. Perfect example. Hercule has been consistent the past few weeks. I mean, consistent. Hercule.
Yeah, and
That's not a Patara thing. That's not. I mean, that's not an extra 2 points. That's his team finally learning what to do with him.
I agree. He's not been consistently amazing.
No,
But you
he's
can
been
rely on
consistent.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's getting to the point where Hercule has always. I mean, even when we're playing, talking about it, we're joking about, ha ha ha, it's the champ. You can't beat the champ. And now he's becoming a threat. You actually have to worry about it when he steps on the field. You know you're not going to win a clash against him. You know that he's going to be charged amazingly. You know he's got all these little presents. So he to me it's a perfect testament of a team just learning how to use their character.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, okay, fine.
So do we have Q&A time?
No.
I'm getting the cue. Yes,
Oh.
yes. Must find it.
We let HJK do the sound effects for the league.
Okay, question time.
Good lord.
First question is actually I think it's by Shogun.
It's
Yes,
the
it's
one
by
after
Shogun.
his first question, yeah, that we
Yes.
had last week.
What? Sorry, what?
Doesn't
say?
matter, just Shogun's question. Jesus Christ.
Yes,
This is what you get. This is what happens when you interrupt the flow.
You don't have a flow.
Sorry,
You have like a ricochet. You sort of bounce off the walls.
Questions. First question by Shogun. 1. Can you give your best guess as to how much longer DBZ League will be running? Or do you, like the rest of us, see yourself with grey hair, cane, and no teeth going, for the love of God, Supreme Kaiti, and do something?
Okay. Well, scientists say that we've got about 5 billion years left before the sun goes red giant. So So I'd say give us a good 20 years to pack up. It's about 4.9 billion.
So you heard it here first, everyone. The commissioner of the league has spoken out.
Basically, the what I'm trying to get at is that I adore this so much. It's so much fun. I cannot see me ending this anytime soon.
No.
Really cannot. I don't see any end in sight.
I think you'll see.
The
I
only
think
way
you
I
might
can
see
see-
changes in terms of coaching and stuff, but
Right. The only thing I can see is the idea that maybe eventually things would stagnate in the sense that you learned everything you could, you got this character working the best you can, there's no reason to change him ever, and then people just lose interest. But the thing with that is, while that may happen here and there, 16 teams, 5 characters per team, 7 points per character, I don't see that becoming a league-wide phenomenon. And especially, also, you'll think every season you'll have new coaches because some coaches will step down with completely new mentalities. I just don't think this will ever stagnate. I think it'll just get better and better.
Well, I mean, you've got 5 billion years or whatever he said, so...
Yes,
You
I do. I said 4.9 billion, actually.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, rounding it up a bit.
fucking bloody people.
Sorry, can you hear something, Squee? Because I can't at all.
It's all right. People on the recording will be able to hear it.
There it is again. Anyway, question 2. If you put the best B2 spammer with excellent B2s against the best male fighter melee fighter who did no B2s, who did no B2s, with both on their best days, who do you think would win? Got
Melee
curious
fighter.
about it. I hadn't finished.
We don't care, HK melee fighter,
Melee fighter.
because
I would think
the,
on their best days, I'd say melee fighter. Why? Because B2s can miss. Melee combos always hit.
Mhm.
I mean,
And B2 spammers
they-
need to charge up as well.
Yeah, they got to charge up. They can miss. You can get dodged. You can throw out 8 of them and miss 6 of them.
The whole point of it being a spammer is the fact it can get it out with minimal energy.
Yes, but the
Yeah,
whole
but they
point
still
is
need
you
to
can throw
charge
out
up.
8 of them. Okay, take a look at Yamcha against the Boos last week.
Mm.
He threw out how many? How many of them hit? That's the problem with the B2.
But then you look at Tapion, how many of his hit?
Yeah, but I'm
Like 95%.
But I'm saying
Right.
the thing is though, a melee fighter. Here's my argument right here. GT Goku week 8, 35,000 points of melee damage in less than 30 seconds.
But then, I mean, you get that every now and then, but most of the time what you get is a good melee fighter against a B2 fighter. A melee fighter will guard it for like a minute, then you'll get one B2 and it'll be even.
First of all, you said on their best days,
Okay, yeah, but they're both on their best days.
and
so I would
say
have a
melee
B2
fighter.
spam.
I say melee
Hang on a
fighter
minute.
on his best day.
In that case, I'd have Teen Gohan doing 35,000 points of damage with his ultimate.
No,
then go
no,
Unforgivable, do it
no,
again.
that ultimate's not a B2. Ultimate's an ultimate. You said
Okay,
B2 spammer.
It's the
No,
same
you
thing.
said that's very important. You said a B2 spam. You didn't say supers. Because if it's supers, I'd take the super any day because you'd have freaking Mecha Frieza throwing out supernovas all day, and who cares what you do against that? You know? Or you'd have Teen Gohan throwing out father-son Kamehameha, and it's over. You said
Okay then.
B2s.
Okay then. Android 13 transformed with his SS Deadly Bomber. Any day he would win against the melee fighter.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
No.
If he was
No.
able to spam
Think about this. Think about this for a second. Think about how many times someone has done a backflip to try and do a B2, and the player that's been hitting them in melee jumps forward and smacks them in the face. They don't do a B2. A melee fighter would still kick their asses. The only time
You're
a
not saying the B2 spammer is not going to do melee at all. He's just going to do B2s. He will obviously do a little combo, and then when the guy's stunned, he'll flip back and do a B2.
right, but not all the time.
No, but the fact is the B2 will make up for about 30 seconds of melee damage,
Only if he gets to do it.
which he probably will.
Not if the melee,
That's the point of
not,
being
not
a-
if not if the
that's the
melee,
point
not
of
if the
being the
not
best
if the
B2
really high
spammer.
damage. Right, if you look at someone built for really high and consistent melee damage output, you're looking at someone whose melee attacks are going to be able to stun people for longer, and whose melee attacks are going to be doing more damage. Yeah, a 15-hit melee combo, for example, can easily do half a bar of health. If you're stunning someone, or even knocking them back, dragon dashing after them, vanish attacking after them, you're locking them down for easily a bar of health. If you're really built for melee, you're looking at a bar and a half of health, right there. That B2 spammer then needs to get to a point where they're up against someone in melee, just in order to get the space to do a B2, they're in melee against someone who's designed for melee. They don't stand a chance. The only way they have a
Designed
chance...
for melee, it doesn't mean you can't take melee damage. If it was an actual two humans fighting, obviously you'd be able to block
it doesn't mean you can't take melee damage, but it means that when you do take melee damage, you're either going to be taking less of it, or you're going to be better at reacting to it. Because remember, something like False Courage will give you a brick wall effect, or Hercule is a perfect example of a B2 spammer that is fucking useless in melee. The only time he's any good in melee is if he grabs someone. Right?
Yeah, but his B2s don't do very much damage anyway.
But he can still
It's only
spam
about
them.
6,000. Yeah, but it's excellent B2s.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you get transformed, Android 13, and using his B2s against, say, I don't know, Krillin, I would say that 13 would still win.
Well, even if
both
Krillin...
are on their best days.
If both are on their best days, but it depends how they're built as well. If you're just saying Krillin's built for just sheer damage output, then yeah, okay, I can see 13 winning. But if you're looking at a melee spammer that is going to be stunning people, is on, is their AI is on a point where they're constantly chasing, where they have, the B1s like After Image Strike, or After Image Wild Sense, any of those B1s, even stuff like False Courage, where they get the defense boost and the brick wall effect. That kind of thing, you still have to have as a B2 spammer the ability to knock someone back and to stun them, just so you can get the space to throw out a B2. In all honesty,
if
it
it was going with the best melee fighter and the best B2
I would just basically make it more simple than that. On their best day, I would choose melee over B2, because B2 relies on being able to charge, B2 relies on being able to get it off, and B2 relies on being able to hit with it. Melee relies on almost none of those things. Sure, you have to hit the melee combo, but that's very easy compared to hitting with the B2. You don't have to take time to charge. With melee character, it can be up in their face 24/7. We've seen Fasha do it, we've seen Krillin do it, and not give them a chance to even breathe. And if a melee character gets that going, you're never going to have a chance to get up for B2.
In all honesty, actually, it would probably be the person who threw it out first that would win, actually.
No, but you've seen people with B2s be able to just completely nullify a melee character. Completely nullify them.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. But we're saying on their best day, personal opinion, I don't think that they would be able to get it off. I think the melee character would be in their face. Like, you take Krillin on his best day doing a 60-something hit combo to Omega Shenron. Where was his B2s that day? Nowhere.
His B2s were after the 60-hit combo, probably.
No,
they weren't.
1,000 points of damage.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, but they could have been. And who's to say? Anyway, he's not the best B2 spammer.
The point is that melee is much better at
Krillin's also the not
B2s.
best melee fighter.
Okay, here's my point. B2s need more conditions met to hit than melee combos do. And on your best day, melee is going to counter those conditions. If you don't have the energy, if you don't get to charge, if you don't get it off, and if you don't hit it, if any one of those miss, no damage whatsoever. Melee combos...
on the type of character. You could say the best B2 spammer is an android. Let's say 17.
Even then, they still need to hit. They still need to, get that let up in melee combos to be able to throw it out.
Just say transform 13, where you're going to hit 95% of the time with the SS
and we've seen Android 13 get locked down by melee characters. It's not a particularly
and we've
unusual.
also seen people who are melee characters get locked down by B2 spammers.
Yes, but we're talking about, as you said in the fucking question, we're talking about the best melee and the
how
best
can you get
B2.
locked down against the? If you can say you can't get locked down against the best melee character, why can the best B2 spammer not get locked down by the best melee character?
That made no sense. You're gonna have to say that again.
Oh, for God's sake! If you're saying the best melee character in the league would not get locked down against the best B2 spammer, why would the best B2 spammer get locked down by the melee character?
Because melee is consistent, B2s are never consistent.
What he said.
And what I say by
consistent,
what I say by consistent is that a melee character on his best day could not give you a chance to even move. A B2 must pause. You cannot consistently throw out B2s. You can consistently throw out melee combos non-stop.
But then you'll do just the B2, and you'll completely reverse the damage that all the melee did.
What I'm saying is, melee doesn't have to stop. Melee never has to worry about taking a pause. If they get in your face and never let up, you don't have a chance to do anything, much less a B2.
Okay, no. Let's say we do the combo. Let's say we do hit, then hit him away, and we'll teleport and hit him away further, right? Like they do all the time.
Mhm.
And then the other character will stop in midair, and as the melee character charges towards him, the B2 guy does a B2.
Right,
And then-
you have After Image, Wild Sense, Dragon Dashing around the
You
back.
can't do an after image when you're flying towards a character.
Sure you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can always
Yes,
do an
you
after
can.
image. You can do
Not
an
the
after image
B1.
at any
Not the
point.
B1.
Yes, you
can.
can.
Yes, you
do
can.
the dodge.
Yes, you
No,
can.
can't do a
After-
B1
Yes, you
as
can.
you're flying.
After image is instant. It is an
I know it's instant. You can do it before you start flying.
You can do
you
it
can't do
after
it while you're
you can do-
flying.
You can do it in the middle of a Dragon Dash. I've seen it done.
Well, I obviously haven't seen it done, but I've played the game and done lots of testing on it and never seen it done.
You haven't been paying attention then.
No. Here's the thing. No. Here's what you're misunderstanding. After image, and what's its neighbor?
After Image, Strike, Wild Sense.
After Strike and Wild Sense. All of those are activated, and then you basically activate it beforehand, and then it just takes effect the next time an attack would land.
Yeah, but you couldn't do it when you're flying.
You
You
do
can.
it before you start flying.
That's what I said. I said you could do it before you start flying.
but then your point still is nullified. You can still use those to avoid the blast.
And even
That's-
then,
You
even
can
then,
use high rapid dodge.
I was
which
going
you
to say,
see all
you
the
use
time,
you use that. You see people in the middle of a Dragon Dash doing the arc around the back of someone. That avoids so many B2s in the game. It's ridiculous. You see that pretty much every match.
We've been arguing for 10 minutes over something that's completely impossible to prove.
That's a good point.
It's not like HJK doesn't have a point. I just don't agree with it.
It's not like HK
I'm
doesn't
gonna
have a point.
stop.
He's just wrong.
I mean, look, no one's saying that a B2 will lose to a melee every time or anything like that. No, of course. You definitely see examples where a Blast 2 spammer locks down a melee character. Of course. It's just that, personally, if it's best of melee versus best of B2, I'm going with melee because you have to meet less conditions for it to be successful. It's almost like Akram's Razor. Go with the simplest. The least complex will win. And B2s have 4 conditions you have to hit. You have to have the energy, you have to get it off, you have to hit them with it. Okay, 3 conditions you have to hit. Melee, you just have to get in their face and pound them. That's it. Period. So,
Question 3. If the coach doesn't post a build in time, could another member of the team post a build in the coach's stead?
if it's not posted in time, no,
Yes.
the deadline's a deadline.
Okay, if he can't post in time, then
Yeah, of course. What they generally do in that situation, and of course this has been said, of course, hopefully the coach will designate someone to do it. But if not, what they do is they PM me and say, hey, so-and-so's not going to be able to post the build. Here's my build. Or I'm going to post it in there. That's fine. No one minds that.
next.
I have a lot of people do that all the time, so... No.
Next question. We're done with this. We're going high speed. Let's not do this. Anyway, Austin asks, are the playoffs 5v5? If so, will we get 3 instances of the same Patara in the team allowed?
Playoffs are 5v5 and no.
Next question, Derangel. Question 1.
Well,
Since we're a week beyond-
hang on.
Oh no.
You got to qualify that statement.
Okay.
All right. The reason why, just like in the preseason, it will be 5v5. No, we will not allow. We will not be lifting that rule of 2 per team because we want to see you guys work with limitations. We want to see you guys still beholden to that 2 Patara rule and see what kind of builds you can make for it, and see how well you can maximize it.
Now you can move on.
Yes.
No, wait.
Well, I'm not qualifying it any further than Squee has to get the fuck on
Wow,
with it.
we had to just make sure. Derangel, question 1. Since we're a week beyond halfway point through the season now, what have been some of your favourite moments in the first half of the season, as well as your biggest surprises?
In fact, the Super Saiyans 7-2, I think that's pretty amazing.
The fact that Cold actually beat anyone, really, is my biggest surprise.
I got there first, yours is invalid.
But mine's bigger and more impressive. Which somehow,
That sounds like you're trying to compensate for something, HJK.
Yeah.
I don't have have Cox on the brain, Rebel, so I wasn't thinking about that.
Don't know what you're talking about. I was talking about DBZ League. What are you on about?
Why would my DBC league be bigger than your DBC league?
My team's still better.
Wow. Quite true.
We have tails.
We did
You're
have
argu-
Tails, but we don't need Tails.
I thought Sonic had tails.
He doesn't belong here anymore. Let's not go about talk about him.
That is
That
a debate where I would have no idea what you're talking about. Now we get
When
the
is that ever a debate where you know anything we're talking about?
I don't know. Most of the time, I know
Oh.
quite a lot more than you. So
Wow. Obviously, that just shows how much you know, which is nothing.
yes.
So
which
about
says
that
which
question-
says something about what you know, which is even less apparently.
Which says something about what you know, which is just as less as no one else. So.
Your argument's invalid. You can't speak.
moments. Favorite moments. The 25 chest bumps of last week.
I missed that. I didn't see that.
That was actually awesome.
That was
Can you
That
explain
was
it to me?
hilarious.
'Cause I don't. I
You know
didn't
when
see
you
it.
know when
It
the
was
you know when the players sort of
Majin's
run
stuff.
into each other for a bit.
And they kind of do that little stutter step. It was Majins versus who did Majin face?
Namek.
Namek. Majins versus Namek. They just sat there for about 30 seconds.
I think it was Spopovich and late Piccolo.
Yeah, they were just stutter stepping each other to the point where I almost thought the game was broken and was about to reset things.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, the game's just skipping.
was
That would
awesome.
be pretty funny if that did happen. If it just broke and they were just dancing. That'd be a perfect intro every week. Da, 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 da. Rebel, what's your answer?
I don't know. That was quite entertaining. Speaking from a personal perspective, I quite enjoyed the Cold Super Saiyans game, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have a particularly favourite moment at all. I've enjoyed the league for the most part so far. Hilarious moment was definitely the start of Namek Margins this week. So yeah. You're left out, HJK. I'm sorry.
I want to see it now. My favourite moment was probably the Gohans versus Super Saiyans match, because that was a very good match. I enjoyed that. Biggest surprise is the downfall of Margin and Muscle.
Same here.
I agree.
Agreed.
That makes a change. Question 2. This season has seen a few new characters brought into the league, and who is your favourite?
Ooh.
I don't even. I kind of want to remember all the new characters, but I never do.
Should we exit or leave out Chaozu because of my obvious bias?
No, we can leave in your obvious bias, and then once you say Chaozu, we can comment on your obvious bias.
Okay then, Chaozu.
God, that's so
You sound
biased.
biased.
No, leaving Chaozu out because I am loving Chaozu. He's so much better than he was, 2 seasons ago or whatnot when we tested him. I would say Dodoria.
Oh yeah,
That's actually a pretty good one.
Rebel.
I don't know.
Oh, I know mine.
Well, go ahead. I still.
No. I've designated you as second.
I have no interest in being second, so go ahead.
Well, it looks like we're an impasse, Rebel.
Okay,
I'll listen.
Squee, right-click HJK's portrait and kick him from the call. I honestly don't know. There we are. That's my answer.
Well then, mine's Grandpa Gohan probably, because none of us expected him to do well.
He was
and
doing well,
he's
yeah.
Completely surprised all of us. So yeah. Sorry, Rebel. You didn't answer your question.
No, you're right. I didn't. I'm
So,
still thinking, but yeah, carry on. Whatever.
Yeah. So shush.
Don't act like you have any authority here, HJK. Go away.
Yeah, I can hear something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he's
Question
going deaf, folks. He's just
Why
getting
does-
I
old.
think that's me
Additional
taking
2
all your
points.
money.
Oh.
Yeah. You could say that in about 5 weeks' time, Squee, and I might think you're telling the truth.
Oh.
Anyway, whether it's due. Oh, question 3. Whether it's due to the 2 additional points or coaches trying to think up new ways of doing things, the season has seen some Bataras get brought up from obscurity. For example, Kobito's secret art and style was strong, and we're seeing them to be very effective. Are there any Bataras or Batara combinations you think we don't see often that perhaps coaches should look into?
Okay, first of all, I have to point out, Kibito's secret art's not obscure. It's been used since day one by a lot of teams, but
Not particularly effectively, I don't think, but yeah.
But honestly, I'm kind of talking from a position of I see all the builds every week. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. Petars that could be used that we don't see enough of.
I don't know.
Thing is, if we knew
actually.
that, we'd be using them.
No, yeah. If we
There's
thought they
one.
were effective.
There's one that it could be effective.
Savior
don't
and Super Plus 2, I think that's one we don't see enough of.
Ultimate Body, we don't see enough.
God damn it, HJK.
Namek power.
Yes.
Hmm.
Or a
Hatred of
purple.
Saiyans. Yes, we don't need to.
Flight. No,
Broly's
one
ring.
combo that we have not seen a lot of that could be done well is, Halo and Demon Seal has always been a hot issue. Some people are like, man, the benefits, but are they really outweighed by the
Halo and Dende's
of it?
healing. Yeah.
But now that we have 7 points, you actually have the ability to put
Halo,
Halo
Dende's healing, and
and
defense plus
Dende's
2.
healing.
Yeah.
And you could even do Halo, Dende's healing, and defense plus 2.
Mhm.
And that would go a long way to mitigating that loss of an extra health bar. And I'm surprised we don't see that more often because we have seen Halo be incredibly effective in some situations.
We have.
And usually the only reason why it's not used is because people don't think it's worth the cost.
You just hear me typing on like Super Saiyan thread. Hey, I got this really good build.
We should totally try Halo.
Maybe we put Dende's healing, and then Defense Up 2 would be amazing.
Interesting. I wonder where you came up with that idea, HJK.
Him was like, you were in the Zcast, weren't you?
No, you weren't.
I can't really think of any combinations, to be honest. All the combinations.
That one is actually a very good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think stuff, and it's less of like this season with the 7 points, but in like I think it sort of came in more sort of at the end, towards the end of last season, is using stuff like Kibito's Secret Art and Kibito's Secret Art, Spiritual Control. A lot of the B1 stuff that gives you the ability to get B1s either faster, cheaper, or have them all at once, and that kind of combination with really high super damage and such like that. So you see these kind of Teen Gohan-esque builds. I think are useful for a lot of different players.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I would say that those only come through with people with B2s though. So
No. Either good B2s or very good
B1s.
ultimates. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
And obviously you have to have the B1 to actually utilize the charge straight up to max power. So it is actually no, you don't. Let me rephrase that. You don't, because you can still charge very, very quickly. As long as you have one blast stock, you can go to max power. So all you need is that full. You need is that full energy to be able to go straight up. All you need is full energy and one blast stock to go to max power. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So you could have a character that doesn't bother coming in with max power, but comes in with 4, 5, 6 blast stocks, and just charges straight away. Because charging from full to max is much faster than charging from 0 to full. And so you can charge very, very quickly to max and get off your ultimate. So it adds an awful lot of variety, especially with people that tag in. It's kind of like it's like a savior that you don't. It's not quite as immediately effective. It's a bit more risky.
It's a 4-point savior.
Not always.
Yeah.
Not always.
I mean, it does have the benefit of having lots of blast ones with if you use secret measures.
There are a few combos also, I think, like for example, I'm surprised more people don't play around with like Miracle Sparkling, or I forget that other one. There's one out there that's I think 3 or 4 points that it makes max power mode last less, like it doesn't last as long, but you dodge pretty much everything when you're in it.
Miracle Sparkling, I think.
Sparkling. And now that we have 7 points that could help mitigate some of the weaknesses of that, I'm surprised more people don't do it, because you have some characters out there that will pop up to max power all the time. And you could think that, I mean, there's some characters that's a third of the fight they're in max power mode, and that entire third of the fight they could be dodging pretty much anything you throw at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the risk with something like that is throwing ultimates or B2s out. Sorry, actually.
The only thing I would have that with is Star of the Strong, but that's impossible. So, unless it's 3 points, in which case it's not. But it's because I wouldn't want the max power penalty. If you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to have to
That's
rely
actually
on my
pretty good. But,
players
oh, I
to
don't know. You
change-
could use Super Plus 2 for that.
What do you mean? Oh, no. I mean to be able to stay in max power mode for long enough.
Oh, right.
I don't like the penalties
Right, okay,
to
that makes sense.
Well,
otherwise, it's
theoretically, I'm trying to remember what the cost points are. Aren't they 3? Isn't there another one that's also lets max power mode stay longer? So you could theoretically throw a 6-point build into it. I mean, I'm not saying it's the smartest thing to do, but it's possible, and it might be very effective.
Especially if you brought someone in. If you brought someone in with Savior with a very, melee focused AI, it could be quite nice.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I know, but if you want to do a melee focused thing, you want to go with melee Pataras, I guess. But at the same time, it'd be quite cool to have after him. Yeah, I don't know.
Think about it this way. Let's say you have a melee focused AI like Broly or Majin Buu. Then, and I'd have to go back and check the point values on this, but you have Miracle Sparkling, and then the other one that increases the length to get rid of that negative effect, right? And then you throw the other point on, say, whatever, Sirius or Master Strike or whatever. And then you give them, you know what, actually, you probably want to give them like a TNAI so that they charge up a lot. And you give them something like that, and you give it to a character that has a Blast 2 that goes to max power.
Blast 1?
Blast 1, sorry, thank you. You could have a really effective build right there, assuming you can actually get them to consistently go into max power mode, which some characters do.
You may wish something like Ginyu or something like that on that kind of character in that case.
Yeah.
At least as a starting Patara.
But I mean, think of all those
AI,
characters
rather.
that will consistently go into max power mode.
No, there are a few.
Hercule. Look at you. Then again, does he now? He used to. I don't remember if he still
Not
does.
so much anymore, I don't think. But I think the problem with that is when you get into max power for an awful lot of characters, you have an ultimate that will do high amounts of damage, and that's more what you would be looking at rather than the defensive option. But it's certainly something that you'd want to consider for something like, I don't know, maybe Margin Vegeta or something like that.
Yeah,
For characters with those sort of suicide ultimates, but they don't use them very often. But they have their tendencies to go into max power. That being said, B2s like Final Flash are actually pretty good, especially with the boost from max power. So.
Yep.
Question 4. Anyone want to form a lynch mob and go after Kid Buu?
Nope.
You can do that, Derangel, if you like. We will watch.
Oh gosh, it was from Derangel.
Yeah.
Like I said before, no matter how good one individual player is, if a team is an even, 5-4, you can't call that an unbalanced team.
Nope.
I'm just glad we beat them when we did.
Some teams have very strong players all the way through. Other teams have an all-star and not so great players. But it doesn't matter. It just adds variety. As long as they're not 14-1, we don't have a problem.
That would be really, really bad.
That would be awesome. I'm sorry. Yeah, that would be terrible. God damn it.
Yeah.
Too late for Cold Level, I'm afraid.
No, it's too late for the Super Saiyans as well.
It was too late ages ago.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah.
And then the last question by Gamer Junkie 27. Now that we're more than halfway through the season, do you think the current division rankings will remain until the end of the season?
No, because we're going to get teams winning and losing more matches. I'm positioned,
Obviously,
I think he
we'll
means.
say
Sorry, being obtuse.
Wow.
Deliberately so, but there we are.
Of course.
I don't know. I think things are really close at the minute. I mean, the furthest away from, between two teams is currently, 2 games? Like, between someone who's either very, very low or very high and their closest competitor is 2 games. Yeah, Gohan's Namek, or Gohan's and the rest of South Guy is 2 games. Blade and Ginyu is 1 game. Super Saiyans and Boo's 2 games. Cold and Androids is 2 games. So yeah, the closest you have in any direction is 2 games. And 2 games can change a lot of things, especially given the the rest of the season that some of the teams have is pretty brutal. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think for some teams like the Androids and the Valkyries, I can easily see them swapping places. South Guy's obviously going to be a bundle of entertainment.
Yeah. I was about to mention them.
Yeah, and North Kai is also going to be, or at least second through fourth to Northcutt is
Yeah, I
going to be
think top
interesting.
seed might be decided, but the who's going to be in the playoffs is definitely not.
Yeah, no, I think you can. I can easily see. I can easily see Super Saiyans, Cold, Blades, and Gohans staying at the top of their division. I don't have any difficulty seeing that. But
Good job, guys. Well done. Top man.
yeah,
Don't worry, Earth Defenders, you'll get there one day.
no, you won't. You totally won't.
I'm sure they will.
But no,
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
would
I can see. I can see things changing, but I don't. I think it's less likely now.
I think it's going to change a lot in South Kai and West Kai.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I would say it's more or less settled in terms of the whole division. But other than that, I think it's fine. Yeah.
I think it'll be one of those things that unless a team does some amazing, constant breakout performances, for the most part things are going to be reasonably the same. But it's going to be a close season all the way down to the wire, I reckon.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, like Rebel said, we don't have any breakaway teams yet.
I don't think we will. Actually saying that.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Oh dear. What? You'll be like Beast Saiyans or something.
Yeah. Saiyans come out with 10 and 5, and everybody else is like 7 and 8. 7 and 8.
Where did this
Ridiculous.
come from? Oh my god.
What the hell did you guys
Um,
do? Jeez.
Yeah. That's all the questions then.
Wow.
We're done. Is there anything else we
Yarr.
need to address or anything?
Week
or we
10?
go straight to the next one next week? I don't know
Straight to
what's
the next
going
week,
on
I think.
next week.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
straight to next week.
Okay, week 10. Burn. Oh, it's an interesting start.
Mm.
Earth Defenders at Super Saiyans.
Yeah, I think the Super Saiyans might win this one. Just a
I
hunch.
think, to be honest, I would say Super Saiyans either way, so I'm not.
I think we got this.
To
Really?
be honest, though, I am still nervous of your team because I don't remember. I'm not sure if we've beaten you ever. Have we ever beaten Earth Defenders?
I fucking hope you have.
Don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
So you
I
going
don't
for
remember
Earth
us
Defender? You
ever
pulling
beating
for
you.
Earth Defender, Squee?
Yeah, I'm going for Earth Defenders.
Okay then. Interesting.
Da,
one.
da, da,
Ooh,
da.
this is going to be a really interesting match. Go on, HK. Give us a next one.
Muscle at Boo.
Boo! You were supposed to sit. You were supposed to be scared.
No.
God damn it!
I think Boo.
And I would. Oh, they have 13.
So,
You know what? Actually, I'm going to go with Muscle.
mm,
I'm going to go with Muscle.
it's a division match.
I'm going to put my faith in you, Muscle, because you're so low down. I don't actually care if you win. So I'm going to put my faith in you and hope you win.
Well, especially since
I mean-
if they win, Boo slips down a place. So yeah, that's good for
Exactly. I'm putting all my money on Muscle, to be honest. But, I mean, they got 13 and Bojack. While Kid Buu is exceptional, the rest of the team might not be. And I would
Mm.
say that 13 and Bojack are good enough to deal with the rest of the team on their own. And then Kid Buu will probably come out and destroy everything and make them look like an idiot. So,
Probably. Yeah, no,
Yes.
I actually agree. I actually agree with HJK on this. Provided Muscle pulls out their strongest team, I think they've got a good chance to beat Boo. But I definitely think it's pretty much reliant on Kid Boo slaughtering everything and how much damage. Actually, not so much how much damage that does, but where that damage falls. Because if you have Kid Buu coming out and destroying Android 13 and doing hefty damage to Bojack, then Muscle's in trouble. Because
Right.
I would say that the rest of the Boos are still stronger than the rest of Muscle. However, Muscle has two players who are very, very good. Boo has one.
then again, there's always Broly, who's always a bloody wild card. You never know if he's going to do well.
Yeah, no, I suppose so. That's actually a pretty good point.
So are you saying Boo or Muscle?
I'm saying Muscle.
Oh, you just want to be like me. Thing is, actually,
Usually I'm
it's true,
slightly
it's
better
to
than
be
you,
honest,
so,
isn't
you know.
it? 'Cause, next match is the Blades at Rugrats.
I think Blade's got this.
Me too.
Um,
I feel bad for the Rugrats, but I
So
don't
do
think
I.
they're winning this time.
I will also say Blades.
Cute.
Bear with me. Okay. And then the next match, oh, this should be quite interesting. Ginyu Force at Margin.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know, me neither. I'm not sure how to call this one.
No, it kind of depends which team comes out for, or which team comes out for which team really. Like how, do you have Deborah, Majin Vegeta, Spopovich, Bobbity, all performing at their best, or
Yeah.
do you have the kind of derpy team? Do you have Ginyu coming out with, Jace and Berta just annihilating everything? Do you have them sitting there with Raccoon planting everyone? How exactly does the teams sort of match up? I think they're pretty closely matched teams, which is never something I thought I'd say at the beginning
I
of the
know.
season.
Yeah, considering Guinea's record, but also considering Margin's potential,
Yeah, no, I
it's
agree.
pretty close. Squee?
I'm gonna go with Majins.
Okay.
Margin.
That's hopeful
Squee?
thing.
They're
Thinking
getting
as well.
Deborah back, and I think that Deborah and Majin Vegeta could take them out.
What did you say, Rebel?
I think margins.
Okay. I will say Ginyu Force,
You just want to
actually.
be different.
You've been waiting to say that.
I was waiting to say that, yes.
And this is actually quite an interesting week, now that
Mm.
I think about it. The next match is Cold at Gohan's.
Wow.
I
Now-
think the Gohans are going to win.
Silence.
I knew that was going to
Balls
happen.
Drop. Dun dun dun. I hope the Gohans do win, to be honest, because that means Super Sense to the top, and it will boost my ego to unimaginable heights.
It's alright, HK. Your ego can never match mine.
Well, that's not gonna happen though, because you're gonna lose next week too. So
Ooh!
helps you.
And then Earth Defenders can stay. Oh yeah, bottom.
Ooh. Now we're getting personal, folks.
Peter here in the
I
Zcast
really don't know what to.
studio. Because we do this in the studio, don't we?
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
cool would it be epic.
That would be terrible. I'd have to be sitting across a desk at you, looking at your face. It'd be awful.
Don't be mean to Squee. God, I'm sorry, Squee. Continue.
Well, come on.
Yeah, I chose already.
Oh,
Did you?
Who was
Who did you say?
I don't remember now.
What?
No,
Studio.
okay, I was gonna say Gohans.
Go.
I just you threw me off, Rebel.
No, I did.
Because I was thinking Cold, and I was like, no, but not Cold. Gohans. I think Gohans probably. Gosh, you know what? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna just go Gohans.
Who did you play? You played Ginyu Force. You'll have Freezer in this week. I'm going Cold.
Ooh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, let me.
Alright, don't be like that.
Actually, no. Wait a second. Let me think about this for a moment.
Name
Who
any
did?
decision. Next
No, I
match.
haven't.
No.
Let me. Who did? Just analysis slightly. Who did the Gohans rotate out?
They
Last
rotated out
week.
Saiyaman, I believe. Yes.
They rotated out Junk Shot Man.
Mhm.
Now, next week, the Gohans are up against the Margins,
Yep.
right?
No, next week the Gohan are up against
Okay.
Cold.
Next
No.
week after that.
Oh, the week after that, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Squeak, shut up.
Rebel, do you need to sit down or something?
I am sitting down. Can't you see? We're in a studio after all. God, Squeak.
We need to keep that going.
We do need to keep that. Needs to be a thing we do. How Squee's sitting in a studio with us from across the Atlantic, I have no idea, but it's
He
amazing.
gets a jet over. Private
Yeah,
jet.
I have a private jet.
Uh-huh.
I charter
Yeah.
it.
Ah, right, okay.
And then every now and then we'll just get a Nimbus.
And it makes me drop into horrible, horrible debt.
Yeah, it's worth it for the Zcast, though. The quality of this program is amazing.
Darn
It's going to be
Skippy.
like, credits roll? It's going to be that. It's going to be text going down the next Zcast because we can't actually afford.
I don't
So you're...
I don't know. I think, given the composition of Cold at the minute, that the Gohans are going to win. I just think Gohans are a stronger team at the minute. Which
Okay.
really, really, really hurts to say.
I would never say that.
I would. I mean, yeah, I'm not like. I mean, seriously, I actually think that the Earth Defenders can beat the Super Saiyans. But if I didn't, I wouldn't just pick them because I want to pick them.
See, now, I guess it might be because... I don't know. I don't want to sound, like, cocky, but I think my team is quite a strong team.
No,
Biggins in
Cold's
election.
a strong
JK,
team.
You
I
never
just
have to worry about sounding cocky because it's
Oh,
always
thanks,
gonna happen.
Squee. Sorry, what? Oh, I didn't
Because
catch
it's
that.
always going
Didn't
to
catch that
happen.
last bit. Bit weird, bit static there. Obviously, your funds are going a bit low.
oh.
But,
Damn jet.
turbulence. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I also in a.
I have a supreme confidence in Cold's ability to make an even match go perfectly in their favor. I just don't think this match is going to be even.
That's interesting. Okay. It's an interesting twist and turns here, everyone. This is an epic Zcast episode. Next match, Saiyans at Namek.
Fuck.
Wow.
Who did Saiyans rotate out?
Nappa.
Oh, I like Nappa. He does well. Who did Namek rotate out?
You just like Nappa because he doesn't wear very much.
Oh, that's exactly the wow. You're such a good detective, Raoul.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
What would you do
say
without
that,
me?
I would say that Nappa's one of their weaker members, though.
Yeah,
Really?
True.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah,
just
because
haven't
think
watched
about their members.
watched
You
it.
have Scouter Vegeta, Turles, Bardock, and King Vegeta. You think Nappa's better than
That's a
any of
good
them?
point.
Yeah.
And maybe I just like his move. I like Blazing Storm.
Blazing
It's
Storm
like
is
Omega
awesome.
Shenron's move, but on with Nappa. Maybe he just doesn't use it enough. I don't know. I would say Saiyans.
Okay. Squee.
Saiyans versus who again?
Namek.
Namek. Namek's getting Tambourine back. They're probably going to have to rotate out. I'm going to say
Team
Saiyans.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have to say Saiyans as well.
Okay. And then the next match is DV Warriors at Derp.
Bloody hell.
They could not be more evenly matched. My god.
Wow.
Are they tied right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be fun.
And then you got Namek,
Yeah.
who's also tied with 2.
No, indeed. I'm gonna go with Derp for this one.
Ooh.
Who did they rotate? DB Warriors rotated out one
Grandpa
of the
Gohan.
Gokus. Grandpa Gohan. Yeah, that's what I said. And Derp rotated out
Supreme Kai, was it?
Supreme Kai. It is now. Oh god, I don't know. That's a really hard one to call.
It is actually a very
Jeez.
hard one to call.
Derp are fighting us the week after next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you'd almost not want to count that because division fight's always going to be more important.
That's true, yeah.
Especially in a closely run division like this. They're
Yeah.
going to be wanting to bring their A game.
And yeah, and I think you also need to think about realistically, are you going to be looking for a win against the Supers, or are you just going to be hoping you can win?
Right.
Yeah, well.
You know, if you're cold, you go out against the Super Saiyans expecting to win. You know,
So hard not to counter that claim, but I'm going to resist. I will go with DV Warriors.
okay. Squeeze.
Squeeth.
I'm going to go with Derp.
Okay.
I think that they're probably going to rotate out
Hercule.
Hercule, and then they're going to have Dodorius, Salza, Supreme Kai, and 19 versus Dragon Ball Warriors. I think that's going to be a better team.
I think that's a
It'll be
fucking
definitely
scary
interesting.
lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I never thought I'd say when referring to Derp.
I know!
There's something wrong with me at the minute.
Next match and the final match is Valkyries at Androids.
Oh man, another division match.
Yep. Important one as well.
Androids rotated
Uh,
out Cell, and I think they're probably going to rotate out Eta for this one. I think the Androids are going to win.
Who did Val's rotate out?
18.
Yeah, they're both coming into this with their A game. I think they're going to probably rotate out Zengaya and go in there with Fasha, Aurelie, 18, and Say a Woman.
Yeah. So you said Androids, Rebel.
I hope the Valkyries win just to bring the Androids down a peg, but I don't
Thing
think
is,
it's going
if
to
you do-
happen. Well, it doesn't matter
You do that,
because they'll be even,
Yeah.
which is cool
Yeah.
by me. I don't really care.
You know, I'm going to probably go with the Vals simply because while I think the Androids probably bring in the better team, I just have a gut feeling that like Aurelie is going to kill.
I think actually that's a good point, because who are they going to start? Because if I suspect androids might start Cell, if the Valkyries start 18 or Rayleigh or someone like that, then Cell's
No,
going to be
just
a lot
18 or Rayleigh.
weak. Yeah. What?
I don't know. I think I don't know. It depends, because the Valkyries could quite easily just start with Fasha, and Fasha could get owned. Because you start off with Fasha, you go for that melee, you let everybody else charge up. That has some value to it.
Right.
I don't know. It's just very.
If you
tricky. I'm
think-
gonna
if you
say
think-
Val's as well, though.
Okay. If you think that obviously you want 18 to come out, maybe do her ultimate, then that could be an
Yeah.
entirely different story. But yeah, there we are. It's week 10.
Week 10 done, dusted, bam.
Yeah.
That's it. Boom.
You guys can just give me your money now. It's fine.
Oh dear. I waited a moment for the laughter, but it didn't come.
I think you guys were just trying to get over the shock.
Yeah, no, I
What
was.
the hell is this guy thinking?
What the hell is he? When did Squeeze suddenly get so confident? I don't think I like this anymore.
Oh dear. Next week.
Yeah,
next
we
week you'll be back to normal with
Yeah,
any
we'll
luck. Jesus.
Next week, I think I'll be gloating next week. I firmly believe that Earth Defenders are a good team, and
They're a good
performing
team. I just
well.
don't think they're good enough.
And
beat
they're
us.
eventually, basically, I think that we've been losing these matches by hair's breadths, and sooner or later we're going to start coming on the winning side instead of the losing side.
If you beat us, I will never hear the end of it, will I?
Nope.
You will after in week 12.
Yeah. Probably. Well then. What next? Outro?
God, can we just cut the outros? Rebel's like already stopped recording, left, gone.
Yeah, I think he has stopped recording.
No, I'm actually still recording.
He's like already editing it. He's like, what? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I finished at the questions.
Yeah, I didn't bother with letting you guys do anything else. But no. All right, folks. We will see you probably after week 11, unless some catastrophe happens and HJK dies. We'll see you after week 11.
What? We're just skipping a week
Dun
now?
dun dun.
Yep. We'll see you after week 11.
What happened to week 10?
Week 10 doesn't exist. Week 10 isn't a thing.
Because I died.
Yeah. See.
It
We need to-
fucked
we need to- we need- we
fucked
need-
with time.
We need to get a replacement for HJK, and getting someone who's that incompetent is really, really difficult. You need to pay them a hell of a lot. HJK was good actually because